What a rubbish name for a racing team. Accelerate. It sounds like a cheap energy drink you might buy in Tesco.
We're still live, by the way. Hello and welcome to Let's Go Racing. My name's Leigh O Gorman and you are?
Sam Collins, apparently.
And this is apparently Honest Motorsport News, except we're going to get rid of that name and we're going to get you to come up with something else.
Much better name than that, please.
Much better name than that.
In the comments.
In the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe and get more of us rambling. Isn't that right, Sam?
Yes, we definitely do rambling on this show.
We're going to talk about all the latest headlines from this week in motorsport, starting, of course, with Formula 1 and Red Bull, Sam. Drivers retained at Red Bull and Toro Rosso. Big surprise there, or not at all?
Not really a surprise. I mean, it'd be a surprise if they keep that driver line up for the whole season, because they haven't managed to do that, well, ever. It's
been a bit of a struggle for Red Bull in general with some of their junior drivers, but I think Alex Albon, who's moved up to the main team since Pierre Gasly was moved backwards, has actually done a pretty reasonable job.
He's reasonable. He's outscored Max Verstappen at every single opportunity. That's more than reasonable. He's been brilliant.
What do you make of his general speed?
Quick.
Gasly and Kvyat at Toro Rosso, do we think that's going to last to the end of 2020?
No.
And if not, who could possibly move in there?
That's a better question. So who is going to bump Gasly out?
Potentially Yuri Vips.
Yes, the VIPs, that VIP program of Formula 1 has got out of hand completely.
Who Yuri Vips, by the way, was actually starred in the final round of the Super Formula Championship this year, replacing Pato O'Ward.
And where can you watch Super Formula?
You can actually watch Super Formula on Let's Go Racing. Strange you can mention that, Sam. Can you say it again?
If you hit like and subscribe and then find elsewhere on this channel, you can watch the Super Formula races in full, all of them.
Oh, all of them. Yuri Vips actually did quite a good job this year in the International Formula 3, not to be confused with the actual Formula 3, which doesn't really exist anymore, although it should. This is actually the spec Formula 3, which isn't really Formula 3, but actually used to be called GP3, but now has a different name.
I'm freely confused.
And as are most people, but he is quite good. Did a reasonable job in the last round in Suzuka.
What, Super Formula? Yes.
Super Formula. But he's got off to Macau this weekend. But will we see him potentially moving up into Formula 1 in the next season or two? Who knows?
Well, Red Bull probably don't know, because they seem to change their mind halfway through the season every season. So we'll find out who will drive the Red Bull. Will it be Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon, perhaps? And Max Verstappen gets to put on the naughty step for a race or something. It seems unlikely, but you know.
He is the golden boy at the moment.
At the moment.
Other news come out just earlier on this weekend, of course, is Peugeot have returned to the WEC, Sam.
Yeah, in the rumour monger's rumour of the day, because I think just about every newspaper outlet, website, jungle drums, smoke signals has rumoured over the last 10 years that Peugeot are coming back to the World Endurance Championship.
Which is strange, actually, because they only pulled out 7 years ago.
Exactly. So that's why those rumours were so strange. But nonetheless, everybody has made those rumours up and they've been continuing. And it turns out that all rumours are true.
2022, Peugeot returned to WEC with the Hypercar. No real designation of what car it's going to be born from as of yet.
I think it's going to be a next, they did the 205, the Crazy Pikes Peak 205. I think they're going to take that to the next level and it's going to be a 205 LMP1.
Interesting, very, very interesting. They will, of course, we think, be competing with Toyota and who knows who else.
James Glickenhaus.
And Glickenhaus, of course, yes.
Glickenhaus will be there. And some other cars, perhaps. Colin Collins alleges that he will have a car. I have no idea what it'll be based on.
Colin Collins also promises he's a car that won't catch fire.
No, I don't think he's ever promised that.
Okay, that's an actually shocking statement on my part in that case.
Yes.
This weekend, of course, for the finale of the World Rally Championship was cancelled, unfortunately. Bushfires down in Australia have caused...
Was that Colin Collins' fault?
No, actually not this time, but could well have been, but that will be waiting to clarify at a later date, I'm sure. Bushfires have forced the cancellation of the finale of the 2019 World Rally Championship. The Drivers' Championship decided in the penultimate round in Spain.
Did Sebastian Loeb win?
No, Sebastian Loeb did not win. Neither did Sebastian Ogier. In fact, for the first time since 2003, a Jap called Sebastian has not won the World Rally Championship.
That's a remarkable statistic. Since 2003, only a man called Sebastian has won the World Rally Championship.
And of course, now Oitanek is going to be is the 2019 World Rally Championship champion, but he moves. He's leaving Toyota, going to Hyundai next year.
So he's sticking the number one on the side of a Hyundai.
Absolutely. And Hyundai, by virtue of the cancellation of the finale round in Coffs Harbour, have actually won the Manufacturers' Championship for the first time.
Fanfare now, please.
Not exactly how they would want to win it, but hey, there you go. Next weekend, of course, Sam, DTM Super GT. It's the dream race. Are you having a dream, or are you even having a nightmare?
No, I'm still thinking about Hyundais. I am. Look, I'm thinking about Hyundais.
Yeah, okay.
We were talking about Hyundai. Let's stay on Hyundai.
Okay, let's stay on Hyundai then.
The Hyundai GT300 would be great though. Hyundai has never raced in Super GT. If you want to see a car in Super GT that isn't there, leave it in the comments because that's always a good topic. And I think a Hyundai i30 something in GT300 would be fantastic.
How about a Hyundai GT500?
Ooh.
You heard it here first, and you'll probably never hear it ever again. But what other news did come from Hyundai today was they have announced, oopsie,
They announced oopsie. Is that one of their new drivers? Is he finished?
No, Oopsie is unfortunately some sort of computer program that won't get released to the general public because it could cause untold damage, but we'll never know for certain. Hyundai have, of course, joined the BTCC for 2020. They're running an i30 car with an independent team called Accelerate.
They thought about that for a long time, didn't they?
Probably.
What a rubbish name for a racing team. Accelerate. It sounds like a cheap energy drink you might buy in Tesco. However, the car looks brilliant.
It does.
It's blue.
It's blue.
Yeah, and Hyundai actually touring cars look fantastic. So the Hyundai i30 Accelerate, you know, the numeral 8. Seriously, it's like something someone in The Apprentice came up with. I'm sorry if you're watching this, team, but I don't like your name. Your car's great, but your name, you need at least a sponsor name in front of that. So if you're out there and you want to sponsor Accelerate Hyundai Racing, please do, because they need a new name.
Meanwhile, DTM Super GT Dream Race happening next weekend, Sam. Are you looking forward to it?
No, there's no Hyundais in it.
Oh.
No, I am. It's going to be fantastic. Though it's very interesting to see at Fuji Speedway whether the DTM cars will be able to compete on the same level, because they were quicker in Hockenheim. But I think the Super GT team struggled with the tyres in that cold temperatures. So when they go to Fuji Speedway, a track that the Japanese teams know much better than the Germans, with that big old long straight and the cars making their power different ways, I think it could be quite a spicy race.
And I think it's fair to say the Dream Race next weekend, very much DTM sporting regulations as well. How will that play into how it works out between the GT500s and the DTMs?
I think it's going to make it a little bit unpredictable. I think it's going to favour the sporting regulations, will favour the Germans, of course, but the track and the knowledge and the environment is certainly going to favour the Japanese. But there's some driver changes in the German teams as well. So you've got the regular drivers, with the exception of Jenson Button, in the Japanese cars. But you've got people like Alex Zanardi reappearing in the DTM after a break, and you've got other drivers who aren't in the normal. Like Kamui Kobayashi is driving for BMW.
Which, yes, come a little bit out of the blue.
Yeah, I couldn't quite follow that one. He's a Toyota driver, but he's in a BMW, but work that one out.
Of course, Kamui Kobayashi, his last Super GT race at the finale of 2018. Alex Zanardi raced in DTM last year at Misano, did actually a pretty good job. If I remember correctly, he either got 5th or 7th in one of the races. So, Zanardi, classic driver. My only concern with having a driver like Zanardi is I hope it doesn't overshadow the actual joint race for the first time. But hey ho, next weekend we will see. This has been Let's Go Racing. My name is Leigh O Gorman, and he is
Sam Collins. Apparently still iron, managing to be there.
Incredible, actually. Do you have any thoughts, comments? What would you like us to discuss? Whatever you want. What have you got to say about what we've talked about this evening? Will Sam's hair get bigger? Will it not?
It won't.
It probably won't, actually, but they are startling.
Hit like, hit subscribe.
Join,
yes, do that too. And leave comments, because we need them.
Well, except you do.
I just it's an ego trip.
No, I just like comments, actually.
That's because no one talks to you.
Bye.